Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whenever you're watching this recording from. Today we are going to be looking at another topic in trading. We have considered a number of other topics, things like the quote price, things like spread, things like pips, and all of those topics. The ones that is really key, that is very phenomenal to deciding whether you're going to win a trade or not, is support and resistance, which is what we're going to be looking at today. Support and resistance. Support and resistance are really key points or levels on the chart. Remember, I told you that this is called the MT4. This MT4 is where you do all of your trading activities from. So on here, if you look at this chart right now, let me make it a bit bigger. You can clearly see movements, directions. You see the red candles are going down and the green candles are going up, which is how it is in the market. The green candles is the bullish market, bullish positions or bullish trades or bullish trends, whichever you want to call it. The red candles is the bearish trend, bearish direction. So this is when the sellers are winning the market. When it's coming down like this, let me look for the notation so you can see what I'm trying to show you. So when it's coming down, like, let me change the color, make it red or yellow. Yellow better. Yeah, yellow better. When it's coming down like this, it's the bearish, means the sellers are dominating the market. When it's going up, means the buyers are dominating the market. Now, if you see here, this is a very sweet trade. If you were in this trade, this would have been a very good win for you. Look at this as well. So there are three directions that price moved. The market moves three directions. The first direction is up. The second direction is down, and the third direction is sideways. So price moves in three directions: up, down, and sideways. I will show you a typical example of what I mean. When it's going up, you can clearly see it here. It's going up. When it's going down, you can clearly see it's going down. When it's moving sideways, you can see it clearly. Sideways movement. You can see when they are moving sideways, see that the candles are they're not quite very big. When they are moving upwards, you see the candles are quite significant. The bullish candles are quite significant. They are huge, large candles. Same thing with the bearish candles. So I'll show you another example. This is bearish movements coming down, and this is a sideways movement. You can clearly see how it is. It's just they're painting small candles. Sometimes candles can be quite big, but they are all moving on the side. So how do you know when a candle is a price is moving sideways? When there is no clear difference between the red and the green candles in terms of height, you can easily measure it, put it in a box. So for instance, look at this. If I do this, you can clearly see there's no much in terms of height. They're just in the same, they're within the same box. They're not going up, they're not going beyond this box. So that means the candles price is moving sideways. For when it's bullish, you can clearly see it as well. When it's going up, you can clearly see it. See, it's going up. They're all going up. When it's coming down, you can clearly see it as well. It's coming down. See? So these are the three ways that price move. Move upwards, move downwards, and then move sideways. But also note that price would never ever move like this forever. It will not continue moving up forever. Price would always move in these directions. This, and maybe this. See the way they're moving? Can move like this even. Then move like this. move like this, move like this, can even come back like this, fall, you know, and then who knows, could even go back. You know, so price moves in different, in zigzag manner. It doesn't have a definite form of movement, but there are different ways we can identify this movement and form the pattern that we trade with, which is another class for another day. But what we have today is just to identify support and resistance. Now, if you look at what I've marked here, you see that there are points that price gets to before they turn. And when they come down, there are points they get to before they go back up. Same thing. When they get here, turn back. Points it gets to a particular point and goes back up. Gets to a particular point and comes back down. So these areas where they turn can be used to form what they call support and resistance. You see, if I draw a line, I can clearly identify the top of that move. Can use a line also to identify the top of that move. Remember, these are line tools. These are trend line tools. Remember, I showed you this when I was in one of your classes. It says trend line tool, used to just identify trend lines. So I can use that to find the high. Use that to just identify the point that price got to. This is just me drawing it. I'm not really doing anything with it, just to draw, to just identify. I just wanted to show you. Now, okay, I'm gonna just clear everything now and show it to you on the real chart. Now, if you look at this, you can clearly see where price got to and then turned. You can clearly see where price got to. That maybe made, you see, got to this point and made that upward movement, you know, then went up and probably got to this point and dropped again. So, oops. So this is it. This is like the peak of price, the highest point that price got to. Now, if you look at presently, look at this is where price got to before it made a reaction and started going back up. You can see what's happening. So these are called support and resistance points, or let me call it peaks and troughs, peaks and valleys, because for a price to be considered support, they need to have 2 or 3 points that they are testing, that they have appeared at, if I should say. Now, I want you to also have it at the back of your mind that price has memory. It might get to a point, maybe sometime 2 months ago, maybe another 2 months, it will always go back to that point to maybe test it. If you understand what I mean, I will show you. I don't want you to get confused. Let's say price was here. Let me see what date this is. This is 2017 May 9th. Yep, 2017 May 9th. How do I know that? If you look below, let me put this line here. Okay, look at this, 2018 rather. See here, this point here. Let me draw. Where's my annotation to? Just draw that. You notice this point. I don't like that one. On something. Yeah, let me see right. Okay, look at this. Look at this point. You see that that number 2018 509. That is probably where price was as at that time. Now, if I take you back to this point, this is another point. This is 2018 15th. That's like six days after. So if I would draw a line, if I draw a line to that point that price got was like 6 days ago. If you come to the future, you would notice that price got back to that point. This is where price was like 6 days ago. But what did you notice? After 6 days, it came back there. So that is an example of what support and resistance is about. Price has memory, I should rather say. It was here at one point, then it came back there. You know, And again, another place I can show you is it was here at one point. Yep. Let's say this is 2018, still 5th, on the 17th of May. This is where price was. Then go to the future. Look at this date. Let me make this bigger. See, this is this date. What date is this? This is where price is at this point in time. Was, or let me say was. What date is that? That's on the 22nd. Yeah, price was here on the 17th. It came back there on the 22nd, or 5 days later. So that's to say price has memory. It will always come back to a point that it's been to before. This is how we identify our support and resistance. So now to tell you what support and resistance is. Support and resistance, starting with support. Support is the base of price. Base where price got to. The lowest point of price. Lowest points or the low point of price. Like this. Now I can put this here. This is where price sat down at. Sat down. This is, if you look at it, price keeps sitting down at this level. You know, it's like the floor where price would rest. Then the resistance is like the roof, the top of price. This is it. This top here is called resistance because this is where price went in and hit, then dropped. Price went up, then dropped. Went to that point and dropped. Now, if you notice, it came to this point and bounced up. It came to that pound, it bounced up. It came somewhere around here, although it broke this. This is what, when it does this, this is what we call breaking. So it came to that point and bounced up again. So when price bounces off a particular level, it is called support. When it bounces up, if it falls from one level, it's called resistance. So let me clear this again and show you what tools we use. Now let's assume this was my price. This is called a naked price. Let me delete this. So how do I draw my support and resistance? The way we draw our support and resistance is to go to the higher time frames. Preferably we start from the weekly time frame. I showed you this earlier. This is a 1 minute, 5 minutes, the 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, daily, weekly, and monthly. All of this is important. You can decide to trade on any time frame. When you are trading on the 1 minute time frame, it's what it is called is scalping. It's called scalping because you're just jumping in and jumping out. Scalping. You would learn all of that. You will know all of that eventually. Would spend time and look at the different. This is called scalping because in this minute, it means price is moving every minute. Price is moving. If I put a time frame here, let me put look for a tool for you so you can see what I'm talking about. Now look at this. If you look at the up, look at this. Let me increase the size. Look at this. See the candles. Every candle represents 1 minute. 38 seconds. You will see by the next. By the next minute, you will see another candle fall. Another candle form. Let's just wait about 27 seconds remaining. You see, that candle is forming. This is how long it's taking that candle to form. It's 1 minute, or the 1 minute chart. So it's going to be moving. And in the next 1 minute, you see another candle form now. I think we've identified this before, but I just want to do it for the purpose of memory. You see another candle form in the next minute. Yeah, did you see that? The next candle just formed, and then it will start counting 50, 55, and all of that till it gets to the next 0, and then the next candle will form. So it takes 1 minute for this candle to form. Now, if you come here, it takes 5 minutes for these candles to form because you're on the M5. In the next 2 minutes, the next candle will start forming. This candle that is forming right now is within this time frame. It also works with your time on here on your own time frame on the screen as well on your computer. So by say 11:00 9, you would see the next candle form. That's what this means. This candles, the end 15 minutes. It takes 15 minutes for this candle to finish forming. Every candle takes 15 minutes, no matter how big or how small they are. It takes 15 minutes for them to form. Now, if this moves to the next 15 minutes, you see the next candle form. The same thing happens to this one. It takes 30 minutes for this. Same thing for here. It takes 1 hour for this. Same thing takes 4 hours. So every candle you see on this platform, whatever time frame you find yourself, just know that it takes that amount of time to form one candle. This candle, see how small it is? It took 1 hour to form. Yep. This one, see how large it is? It took same 1 hour to form because you're on the 1 hour time frame. So now, remember, you're working with your time as well. This time, if it takes 1 hour to form one candle, it means this is 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. It took 7 hours to form all of this candle that you see here. All of this candle that you see here. It took 7 hours to form them. Let's see this one. How many is here? See, this is 1 hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It took 15 minutes. 15. Sorry, I'm looking for a good. It took 15 hours for that candle to finish forming. That candle. So it takes that amount of. This is how long it takes for every candle to form. So, for instance, if I'm here, excuse me, let me go back to my 25. So if I'm here, for instance, it takes 4 hours for every candle to form. It took me 4 hours. If I'm here, it took 24 hours for one candle to form. So that's just what that is. So scalping, when you're scalping, you're trading within the 1 minute time frame or the 5 minutes time frame. Or what you're looking for is just basically 5 to 10 pips in the market. But like I said, you will learn more about scalping in subsequent classes. There are different kinds of trading. You can be what they call a day trader. You can be an intraday trader. You can be a swing trader. What kind of trader are you? You can be a scalper. You can be an intraday trader. A scalper meaning you just jumping in and jumping out just to grab a few pips in the market. Intraday trader. You can be a swing trader. Swing trader meaning you're holding your position. Okay, hold on. Let me just write it out before I explain it. Swing trader. Then it can be a position trader. Position trader. So now, a scalper is someone that just jumps in, that trades within the 1 minute, maybe the H1 down to the 1 minute is who a scalper is. They just want to just jump in for the quick money, quick 20 pips, 30 pips, 5 pips. That is what a scalper is. An intraday trader takes his profit within 24 hours. They don't let their trade to run beyond 24 hours. They stay within 24 hours. They take their profits. Once maybe they started trading from 7 a.m. in the morning or thereabouts, So by say 10 p.m. or thereabout, or whatever time zone they are out of the market. They don't leave their trade to run into the next day. They don't trade 24 hours. So the same with a swing trader can hold their positions for one day, 2 days, 3 days, even 1 week. But a position trader can hold it for several months or even a year, 2 years.
So but where we are right now, you and I and every one of those retail traders, we tend to trade within this level. We trade within this level. For the new traders, you guys, we encourage you to be these people. Scalping is a strategy that it's a different kind of strategy. You need to be really good at scalping to be able to do it. But we encourage new traders to be intraday traders. Just take your profit, whatever it is, even though you're not in profit, you're in loss. Take it and cut your losses and get out of the market. Because when you stay till the next day, brokers charge you to hold that position for you till the next day. So but that's a story for another day. We actually wanted to just talk about support and resistance today. I always have that weakness of going to different areas. Okay, so now that said, as a reason why I remember why I did that. I digress, but I just wanted to show you why. Because when I go here, you would want to ask, why am I going to these levels? You might have a question with it. So when we want to design our support and resistance lines, we usually start from the higher time frames. Let's say 1 week or the weekly time frame. I like to start in the weekly time frame so that I can see the big picture. Now, when you look at this picture, you can clearly see something that is obvious. There are positions, price got here, it bounced, it got here, it bounced, it got here, it bounced. That level or zone that price got to is called what? A floor. Because price is at this point. This is an example. This is called a floor. It didn't break this floor to come down. It just kept bouncing off this floor. Remember what I told you, that support and resistance is not one line. Support and resistance is not one line, although we use a line to identify it, but it's not just at that point. Because when you look at that line, you see a number here, a number on the right hand side. Where's my annotation tool? You see a number on the right hand side here. There are numbers on here, but this one, if you see that yellow, because of that yellow line is the number that it represents. So that's my support line, or support number, if you will. Now, my own support line may be different from somebody else's support line. Someone else can decide to take their support line from here. This is a different number. Another person can say, I want to take my support line from here. You see, it's a different number. So instead of me just saying, okay, my support line is here, why don't I use a zone instead? So that's why you see me draw this rectangle to capture all of that zones, just in case. Remember what we told you, that all these things are people that are buying and selling in the market. They are buying, people are selling. So when they get here, they are taking profit. And when they take profit, the market is going back up. Because maybe as they are taking profit, people that are buying are entering here as well, and they are buying at this point. So the market will be going up because buying is going up bullish. When they are here, they are selling from here. It's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down, coming down. When it gets to this point, they can decide, okay, because this is the point that price got to before, I'm going to get out here. So when they get out here, buyers will also be saying, okay, I think this is the point that price will start going up. So it's a self-fulfilled prophecy. So they jump in every buyer jumps in at this point, and the price naturally just goes up because they are there. And because the sellers are getting out of the market, the buyers are dominating it. So that's another mindset. But as you can see, what we're trying to identify is the fact that price goes to this part, got to this part, and then bounced up, got back to this part, bounced up, got back to this part, and then bounced up. So that place will be identified as floor. Now, you will also see that there's a point that price got to, fell, and then fell. It got to and fell, got to and fell, got to and fell. That point will be referred to as what? Resistance, or the ceiling, because that's where price. And remember again, it is not actually it is not an actual line. It's more or less like a zone. So let me draw this a bit bigger because of the other lines. You see? Now, if you see what I'm doing here, you see something very tricky, very tricky. You see what I'm doing? I'm drawing this not on this place alone. I'm also dragging it to capture this place as well. Why? Because that is where I see some reaction as well here. Price got to this place too. If I can bring it forward again still, because price got to that place as well. Price is already at this place. So it's really a question of where is price? Where has price got into? Price got here, and what did it do? It fell. It got here, what did it do? It fell. It got here, what did it do? So in actual fact, I can say that is my resistance. That is my ceiling. That is where price got to and had a reaction and fell. Like I said, other people can find this as theirs. Other people can find this as theirs. So you don't want to say price is really that one number. It could be any number. So what that means is that you need to capture it as a zone. Most times you don't necessarily need to draw this rectangular line, but it just pretty much just helps. You can just maybe identify one line. You can identify one line, at least the closest, the ones where you have multiple touches. By multiple touches, I mean how many times. See, this touched here. Price came in and touched the same place. 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 So I can just use that as my multiple, as my support line. I can't use this one because if you notice, if I bring this up right now, see, I can't use this. Why? Because price only touched here once. There's no other place that price touched except when it got here. But I want to be able to capture the places that price touched multiple times, which will be this one. Yep, it will be this one. This place here, because you can see price kept. But it's all good as long as they are all within that rectangle I just created. I'm still good. Okay, so again, let me bring that out. So if I bring that out again, I can see another level here. This is where price has gotten to again and then fell. So I can draw my line around there too. Yep. Right now, I don't really need to bother about that rectangle. Why? Because price, there's no other thing here. There's nothing else here that would, no other elements here that would make me feel okay. I can just see the highest point of price. That's the highest point. I can just capture that. And now if you look left, which is a very important concept, always looking left. Left is the history. It tells you what may happen in the future. So if you look left, price had already gotten there. So it means to me that it is an important level for price because price got there before. Now, if price got here and touched this place, what would this place be? That will be support because price is resting. That's the floor. When price got here and touched this place, the same line, but what did you notice? This price is up. So it means that this is resistance. So that brings me to the second concept of what we say that sometimes price that was once a floor, was once a support, can become a resistance. Level that price saw as a support before, that same level can become a resistance. Example, this one. It was once a support because price came and rested there. What did it become? A resistance. Why? Because it became a ceiling to price. And why did we call it a ceiling? Because it got there and then fell. Now when price got back to that place, what did you notice? This is another concept. When price got there, what did you notice? It broke out of that line that was once support and that was once resistance. It broke out of this. This is an example of what they call breaking out, meaning that price broke out of that line. Price penetrated it. Let me make it bigger. Oops. Let me use this. So price, where am I? Okay, this is it. Price penetrated that line. Make it bigger. You see the line I'm trying to show you? This line, price penetrated it. Meaning that price was strong enough to be able to penetrate it. So this is an example of what they call breakout. It broke out of that line, broke out of resistant line. Remember, that's a resistance, right? Because it was initially a resistance. So it broke out of it. So now that's an example of what resistance and support looks like. So when I identify that, always like to come down when I have identified the key ones here on my higher time frame, I like to come down to my lower time frame to see. Now, another thing is this: the more you go into your lower time frame, this one is called lower time frame. When they come down, they are called lower time frame. When they go up, they are called higher time frame. Yep. So when you come down, you will start seeing more levels that you can identify, more support and more resistance lines. Example, I know you can see this one. You can see where price came in and turned. You can see where price came in and turned. Yep. You can see where price came in and turned this place. See it? Again, if you look at left as well, it was support too. It came in and turned, came in and turned. Look at here, it came in and then bounced up. So these are important levels. If I also look up right now, see some other key levels. Look at this. You see, price always got there. Price came there, bounced. So this is an important level. So instead of me even seeing this as a line, because I can see some the shadows. Remember I told you that this is called a shadow. The wicks. If you see that, I can see them pointing. So I can just kukuma use this like this. I can just use let me make that wider. So I can just use that triangle, that rectangle, so as to capture that as a level. Because I know that some people can decide that their own level is starting from here. You see? Some can decide that their own level is starting from here. So let me just pick the whole of that level so that just in case I want to trade it. The reason why I'm capturing all of these lines is because they are lines that will help me to enter the market to buy or to sell. That is why I'm capturing them. Yep. Okay. Another one I can see is this level, as you can see. This level. You see? So instead of me, I can also capture it as a zone by drawing a rectangle around it. There's no crime if I extend it here. So that's how you find support and resistance. So go to your higher time frame to just kind of see if remember what I said, it just gives, the higher time frame gives you a bird's eye view of what price looks like. It makes you see your support and resistance more clearly. Now, if I come to the 1 minute, you will see that there are too many lines. You will see so many support and resistance lines that they will become also messy. If you capture support and resistance for every the smaller time frame, there will be too many, So that's why you go to your higher time frame, maybe your daily, your 4 hour or your 1 hour, just to capture them, to see them clearly. But we start from the weekly, and then we bring it down to the daily to see if there are more levels. We'll bring it down to the H4 to see if there are more levels. Now, the reason why we have to go down is because we need to decide where we have to buy the market or where we have to sell the market. And what helps us to be able to decide that? Support and resistance lines. Support and resistance lines. They help us to identify where to buy and where to sell and where to exit, where to take our profit or where to cut our losses, just in case we did not do well in that trade. So that's just what support and resistance are. They are just ceilings. If you can look at this, you can see more opportunities, more support. See, you can see this. You see this? If I put this up, that's because I'm on the 4 hour time frame. So you tend to see more support lines. Now, you can see more support here. So you can see more support. You can see more support here as well. I can even decide to do this too. And do this too. So you see what that means? That means you would have a lot of lines. So imagine if I go down to my that same level that I saw. Now I will see more levels. If I go down to my one, okay, so let me show you. See, you will see more levels coming up. The lower you go, the more levels you can see. Yep, you can see more levels. See this one. If I decide to go to my 15 minutes or 30 minutes, I will still see more levels. Oops, let me go back to where I was. You see, this is another level. If I now go down to 15 minutes, I still see more levels. So it means that if I decide to do this on the smaller time frame, there will be too many lines on my chart. Let me go back up here. You see how many lines? See how messy my chart is because of those lines. So that's why you want to stay on your higher time frame to find your support and resistance. Then when you have found your support and resistance lines, you go to your H4, find them. When you've gotten everything, then you can now start trading. Now, remember what I said, when you want to scalp your on your 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, but when you want to do your intraday trading, you're probably on your 1 hour, 15 minutes or maybe 4 hours. Just enter your positions on those numbers and then you take profit wherever. But how you do that, we will see in subsequent sessions. So that brings us to the end of support and resistance lines. And we will see you on the next class so that we can treat how you trade support and resistance lines. Or before I even go, hold on, before I end this class, let me show you one more class, one more activity, which is the trend line. I know I've mentioned it before, but I just want to take the time to just show you again, so that some of you that are some of you will be able to remember and get it clearly. So let me look for another one. So trend line, I know I mentioned it earlier. Trend line, I remember I told you that price can go up, come down, and go sideways. Yep. Now, if you look, sideways, terrible looking sideways. So it means it's going in parallel, in one just parallel line. Now, if you look at this chart, you can clearly see something, that price is going down. You see? Price is going down. If you look this way, what are you noticing? Price is going up. That's an example of trend line. Trend. You see, price trend. A trend means price is going up and price is coming down. So that's an example of what they call trends. Now, this thing I picked up is called a trend line. You use it just like a support and resistance line. You just put it on the peaks of price. I can put it here because price is there. That's where price touched. If I bring it down here as well, you see that's where price touched here and bounced down. Okay, let me see. It went up, touched this point and came back down. It went up, touched this point and came back down. Went up, touched that point and came back down. That's an example of a trend line. Let me show you this one too. It was here, it came down, bounced off, came down to this point, bounced off, came down to this point, bounced off. And then remember when we looked at support and resistance, we considered the element of breaking. The same thing happened here. Price broke this line. It broke it and started coming down. So, but then the way you can really see your trend so clearly is when you go to your higher time frame. Maybe like the weekly. Like the weekly, what can you notice? It's really, really clear. We can see the three things that we looked at earlier. You can see that price here is coming down, isn't it? So that's the trend for price now. Yep. If you look here, what would you notice? Price is going sideways. Price is going sideways. Yep. Sideways, as in it's going up and down, up and down. Now, if I tell you, okay, let me put this. If you look at this from here, after price got to this point, what did it do? It started going up. Yep. Let me put that sideways to stop out here so I don't confuse you. Yep. Because this is where it got to and then bounced off. Yeah. So if you look at this trend, this is price going upwards. Another trend again on the right hand side, what did you see? Price is going downwards. So when you go to your higher time frame, you can clearly see the direction where price is really going. Even though you're on your daily time frame, that's my daily, you can clearly see it as well, that price was actually going up then it broke out of that trend line. This is a trend line, remember? Because price kept bouncing off it. Came here, bounced, came here, bounced, came here, bounced, came here, bounced, and then eventually when it came, it broke, and then it was coming down. You see? So this trend line is just used to identify, to draw the trend lines. I draw the trend on price. If you mouse over here, it's to show you draw trend line. So you draw trend line just to be able to capture the direction that price is going, whether it is going up or it is coming down. So that tool is very useful. All right. So thank you. Once again, I'll see you on the next class.